Hey, what's going on? It's James Canzanelli, your affiliate hero, and in today's video, what I'm going to be talking about is the truth about the whole digital nomad lifestyle. Now, it's a pretty interesting one because you see it a ton of times. It's like make money while you travel, do what you love while you travel, get paid for your passion while you travel, do whatever you want while you travel, make money while you travel. You've heard it all before, but I got to recently experience this myself. Now, it's not to say that I've never been on travels or vacation, like I'll go back home. I'm in Florida. I'm originally from New England, so I'll travel back there for sometimes holidays or weddings, whatever it's going to be. But this is more about serious traveling because not too long ago, I'd say about 2 or 3 weeks ago, I went to Australia and I went to New Zealand. Now, I live in Florida, as I said, so I pretty much flew from Florida to Houston, Texas to Australia, which is probably the second longest flight. It was 17 and a half hours, in case you were wondering. I think the longest is 19 or something, but it wasn't as bad as people think, but I'll get into that. And then I had one more flight, okay, getting to where I need to go in Australia. On the way back, there was 4 flights. Now, the fact of the matter is this: traveling with the ability to make money while you're not physically working is an amazing feeling. I do have to say that, the benefits people talk about, it is true. It's awesome. When you're not having to be at a computer to actually do stuff and make money, it's great. And I feel you should set up your business in order to operate like that. Now, there are going to be plenty of businesses where if you don't actually outsource people, it's not going to really be that possible. For example, when people get into coaching, what happens is if they start doing really well, they get a lot of results for people, they get a lot of clients. However, they run into a ceiling where it's all right, there's not enough hours in the day, and that's how they can really get burnt out. Because if they're doing one-on-ones, you can only do so many clients in one day in terms of teaching them, obviously, right? I used to be a personal trainer, and that was the biggest thing, was that, I see where this is going, but my goodness, you can get burnt out so easily. That's why people usually revolve to group coaching and so on and so forth, where it is a much better model. But all in all, let's talk about some of the pros and cons, mostly the non-benefits that I figured out. So when it comes to digital marketing, I brought my laptop with me. I probably opened it up twice, okay? This is both good and bad because it allows you to obviously focus on some fun, obviously took care of some business and so on and so forth. But when you think of it this way, when you're not working, your competitors are. When you're not getting shit done, your competitors are. When you're not focusing on your business, other competitors are. People are moving ahead of you. I don't know about you, but I'm the type of person that just loves sticking to something. And when I have to go away from it, I don't like that because it's going to get much harder to obviously go back into it. It's kind of like when you have momentum, you want to keep it up, and the last thing you want to do is be away from it from 2 or 3 weeks. So that's one thing a lot of people don't realize, is that people are getting ahead of you. Yes, you might be making money in the background, but are you growing? Obviously, unless you have outsourcers to help you, that's going to be one thing. Another thing I didn't like when it comes to the whole digital nomad was the jet lag. This is some of the worst jet lag I've ever had in my life, probably because I've never traveled so far, and that's the reason for it. It took me, once I got back, it took exactly 1 week for me to be able to get normal sleep. I was sitting in bed, I'd go to bed 8, 9, 10, depending, just trying different things. I'd literally sit in bed until 6 a.m., didn't sleep 1 hour, staring at the wall, and then I'd finally fall asleep for a couple hours. It was the worst. And then after that, I'd finally get to sleep, say around 9 p.m., 10 p.m. I'd probably be in bed earlier trying to fall asleep. And then I would go to sleep and wake up at 1 a.m. So I'd get 3, maybe 4 hours sleep max. And that went on for probably another week. And now I'm finally properly back into it. I started going back to the gym this week just because my sleep was so bad. I didn't have a lot of energy. And when you think about it also, when you're coming back, I'm not getting a lot of sleep. I don't have a lot of energy. I'm not doing my best work. The reason why I didn't put out as many videos is because that was one of the reasons why. I sounded like a zombie, I looked like a zombie. A lot of the work that I'm doing just wasn't as efficient as I normally do. I didn't have a lot of energy. People don't realize that as well. When you're doing a lot of traveling, okay, in terms of whether you're flying, recovering from jet lag, you're not getting anything done. So you're not moving forward, you might stand still, you might move backwards. That's not a good thing. A lot of people don't talk about that. Plus, when you're traveling, the last thing you usually want to do is work, okay? Obviously, if you're traveling for pleasure, you want to see things, you want to do things, you want to experience the culture, the food, whatever it's going to be, visit stuff, go hiking, jump off a cliff, jump off an airplane, skydive, whatever it's going to be. The last thing you usually want to do is work. And that's why I only opened up my laptop twice. One, because I set up my business that way where I don't have to do it. A lot of stuff I can do from phone, whether I'm emailing people or sending over bonuses, whatever it's going to be. But two, it's like there's going to be business and pleasure obviously when it comes to traveling, but the majority of me wanted to see Australia, to see New Zealand, to check out all the towns, to do hiking, to look for kangaroos, to check out Urlu, the giant rock, and all this other cool stuff, and Sydney, and all the great landmarks and cool things that come along with it. So while a lot of people talk about, yeah, I'm going to go travel and do all this work, it usually doesn't work out that way. I know it's funny to say like, yeah, of course I'm going to do all these videos and stuff, but when you're in the moment, at least me personally, I wanted to be in the moment. I didn't want to focus on a lot of work. And that's pretty much just my perspective. But a lot of people don't realize that until they actually go somewhere and they're like, oh, this is so much fun. You know, why am I going to do work? So that's just another thing that comes with it. So aside from that, you're also not going to be growing, like I said before, unless you have a team, unless you have outsourcers and so on and so forth. Plus, not every biz model is great for the whole like digital nomad for traveling and making money. You have to set it up a certain way. I'll talk about that in another great video where it doesn't matter if you're a digital nomad or you just want to set it up that way where we can actually, make passive income. Like I said, I'll do another video about that. But that's not always going to be the case depending on the type of business model, how much your business needs you, and so on and so forth, but you're not going to be growing. For me personally, before I ever became an entrepreneur, I'd always wonder why people are like, oh, I need a vacation. Oh, I just need a vacation, need to get out of here, need to get away from my problems. I was like, why do people say that so much? And I realized usually it came down to the point that they didn't like what they were doing. And that kind of grew in my mind as I got older and older. Not like I'm super old, but as I gained more experience and knowledge, and I realized I don't want to be in that position, say once I'm out of school or college or whatever it's going to be, right? I want to be able to say like, I don't need a vacation because I love what I do. And that's kind of in the position I'm in right now. When you love what you do, you don't really need a vacation that much. And I feel like a lot of people who are attracted to the whole digital nomad thing are like, got to get away, got to get a vacation. And when you really love what you do, you want to focus on what you're doing. Imagine you built an online business to say like 6 figures per month. What's the first thing you want to do? It's not going to be go become a digital nomad. It's going to be focus more on your business and build it more. And that's a lot of things people don't realize is that when you're doing well, you want to put the pedal to the metal. You want to keep hitting the gas. You don't want to hit the brakes. You don't want to be like, okay, I'm doing well, let's go party now. That's usually the last thing you want to do. And that's kind of like the whole digital nomad thing, especially if you're going to be doing a ton of traveling. My goodness, that can really set you back a ton. You lose your focus, you lose your momentum. It takes a lot to get back into it. Plus, when you're having fun, usually the last thing you're going to want to do is bust out the laptop, write some emails, write some content, shoot some videos, whatever it's going to be. And yes, I know there are plenty of people doing it. Just keep in mind, there's the benefits and the cons, the pros and the cons, okay? These are some of them in the background in case you don't realize it. However, it is always great to set up your online business where you can make money so it doesn't revolve around you 100%, kind of like with coaching where you got to do one-on-ones. Either way, those are pretty much the pros and cons, mostly the cons of becoming a digital nomad, so to speak. Traveling is great, but when you mix that business with pleasure, it's kind of hard to balance those when you got so many great things going on for you and you're in a new country, a new place, and you want to explore. That's about it. I'm James Kenzanel. Hope you got something out of this. If you like this video or you want to see more videos related to this and affiliate marketing and online business, feel free to subscribe. That's about it. I'll put a cheat sheet or something free down below. If you haven't gotten that, check it out. Either way, I'm James Kenzanel. Thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you soon.